I don't see anybody.
They'll come dragging in here. You got Patty at home?
Yeah, she's off work today.
Oh, man. She heard you talking about that junk. Oh, man. Surprised she hadn't ricocheted a frying pan off your head or something.
More junk. You know, I don't really want that junk. I will go and look at that junk, though. He did say that if I touched it, I had to do something with it.
Yeah, you have to be careful. You better wear gloves or something.
I will have to keep my hands in my pocket. But we have video of him saying that if I touched it, I had to do something.
Yeah. He'll use that against you in the future, I bet.
That's true.
He knows you too well.
I want to mount a radio in the new car, but I can't find a cheap mount. There may be something in all that junk that I could use to get away with not spending money.
Yeah. Good scrap metal is hard to find, man.
Yeah.
You can get it at Lowe's, but man, their metal pieces are not cheap.
Oh, this mount is designed specifically for the mount that's already in the car, and it's $41 for a little 5-inch piece of metal. It's like, holy cow. I found a guy selling one that was pretty close on eBay for $25, and I'm that close to pulling the trigger on it just because that's the cheapest I've been able to find. But
where did they go?
I don't know.
They usually pull pretty quick.
Were you having problems connecting to Zoom today?
I did try, probably before you got on, I tried connecting and had to get out and come back in. I may have started before you started or something.
This one went through pretty fast, but the first one seemed like it took an extra minute or so before it actually connected. So maybe they're still having problems. If they were hacked, was it last week?
I heard they had trouble when they started school. That it was like Monday.
Yeah.
They had trouble. I didn't know they got hacked or something.
Yeah, they got what I saw was denial of service attack. So I don't know. I don't know if they're still trying to recover from that or not. It's pretty late in the day for them to be worried about school, though. So.
Let's see here.
It's a bird.
That's a hummingbird, male hummingbird.
Oh, cool. Oh, yep, now I see it.
The scroungy looking one, these are kind of scroungy. Gail says they're babies. That's a grackle. Butterfly. Pigeon, as far as I'm concerned, it's a dove.
Yeah. For some reason. A rat with wings.
Oh.
Butterfly? Butterfly. It
yeah, a lot of butterflies. That was kind of fuzzy. Oh, there we go.
Ray's back.
There's Ray. I was showing him, yeah, that was our Toity.
Some close-up
The
photography.
hummingbird pictures. That's the male hummingbird.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're finished with your roof.
Am I finished with it? Hell no.
Ray, and
We're not even. We're finished talking about it. That's it. We're
So you're
just not
renting
getting
this?
quotes on it.
Are you going to use
Started
it for something? Sell it or rent it?
Gonna rent it. We're not gonna sell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that
I don't
doesn't
know. If
sound
somebody
like,
offers enough money, I'll sell.
yeah.
Everything's for sale.
Yep.
Carol says you got to hit 7 digits. So.
Sounds about right.
I'll give you 7 digits. 2 of them are going to be behind the decimal point, though. So.
That sounds like Ray. You want to look at this thing that we looked at?
Are you ready to go, Leroy?
I'm going.
Okay.
It's an antenna analyzer.
Ooh.
And it's relatively inexpensive. Ray's dad had one that's very similar to this that we used on the car to find out what the antenna was. And after I saw it work, I was kind of like, I'll look and see, because he said they were like $60. And I found one for $40. They've got all kinds of different things. They do Smith charts and standing waves and clear up to 1.5 gigahertz.
That picture looks really cool, but I have no idea what it means.
Yeah. I actually saw, I was watching a video. I was trying to figure out what some of these features were. And I'm like, the most interesting feature, the most useful one for me anyway, is the yellow line. That tells you, the dips tell you where the resonant frequencies are on antennas.
So the SWR drops down to 1 at the bottom, right there where it's got that 1 at the very, like the center.
The 1 is your trace. You've got your channel 0 and your channel 1.
Well, a perfect SWR is going to be 1.
Yeah, but
it's not going to be 0. It's actually going to be 1.
No, channel 0 on the.
Looking at a standing wave ratio, your SWR, the perfect SWR should be 1. I think too many people think that a perfect SWR is at 0. It's actually at 1.
No. Right here, the channel. You plug
channel 0 and channel 1.
Channel number. It's not showing you the SWR.
It's not showing. That's showing.
Okay.
That's showing which channel, but instead of saying channel 0, it says 1. So if you had something plugged in over here, I'm guessing it would say 2. Because
that's crazy.
Because they're labeled
1 and 2 instead of 0 and 1.
Yeah. Anyway, that doesn't really show the SWR either. That shows where the resonant frequencies are. There's another I don't know. There's another one, another mode on it that'll actually show you what the SWRs are.
Okay.
There's like 4 or 5 different things that it does.
And you don't have this one in yet, do you?
I ordered it the day Well, I guess that was yesterday. I ordered it yesterday.
Okay, and yours is going to be the 2.8 inch.
No, mine's gonna be the small one, which may or
It's 2.8, and the large one is actually 4 inches.
okay.
Yeah.
It I ordered this one because of the price, and that's what I did because of the price.
Okay.
They're cool though. They've got all kinds of neat stuff.
That is amazing stuff. That is just cool.
I only ordered it because your dad had one, and I felt left out.
All right.
No, I'm kidding. I ordered it because I thought it would be useful. The website for these things actually says they will go up to 2.7 gigahertz, but they shouldn't be trusted beyond 1.5. So I don't really know what
Right.
that means.
Can I do like a front to back ratio on a beam or something?
I don't know. It's got the Smith chart. Is that what the heck is a Smith chart?
It's like a Jones chart, but Smith.
Okay.
It's not like a dough chart.
I don't know.
This is back from theory books that haven't seen for years and years and years. This is a flashback for me, man.
I don't ever remember when I studied and everything. I don't ever remember them talking about Smith charts or what they do. Graphical calculator or electrical.
Okay, so the Smith chart would include the impedance, the reflection coefficient, and a vectored SWR, which
Okay.
is part of the return loss, and it has a component of the transmission line effects.
And what that does to the impedance that's seen looking into a line.
I suppose
For
it's
example, let's
useful.
start with an
know all
equivalent
that
circuit
stuff.
like a load that looks like a 33 ohm resistor followed by a 220 picofarad capacitor operating at 14.2 megahertz. So we can very simply convert this to an R plus JX type format by converting the 220 picofarads to its capacitive reactance, and we wind up with a load impedance that looks like 33 minus J51, the minus sign because it's capacitive.
That looks like
In
math.
order to plot
That
this
sounds like
on Smith
math.
chart, we need to normalize this quantity to Z0 or our system impedance. We're going to take our 33 plus J51 and simply divide it by Z0, and it gives us this normalized load impedance, I'll just call ZL, which is 0.66 minus J.1, 1.02. So let's go plot this on the Smith chart. All right, we want to plot 0.66 minus J1.02, and being a negative J, being capacitive, we're going to be in the lower half of the Smith chart here. So we start off by looking at the 0.66 real component, and that is basically right next to this line right in here. And we're also going to look at the intersection of 1.02 on the capacitive side of the reactance scale.
Hey, do you have an example Smith chart from that analyzer?
Maybe.
What was the name of that analyzer? Nano something?
Nano VNA, yeah. I don't really
Your life engineering ongoing on Washington same concept.
Yes,
You see how I call it individual service? If we have to do it without anybody else committing.
that's good.
Is that okay?
Hey, did my printout come out of the Kyocera?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm starting to follow this.
Sure.
Sean paid for that fried each one. 110 fried with each one.
I mean, that sounds perfectly good.
I didn't charge him for the extra shipping. I just charged him for the. It didn't cost me and whatever. It was
Okay, well, like you said, we can't keep giving stuff away, especially when they know that they fried it, not on purpose, but they fried it. Yeah.
Hey, Ray, we can
Okay, that's fine. I give away a lot more than
Yeah, I know.
that. So we're all kind of doing our little independent research on Smith charts.
apparently. There
Okay.
are some pictures of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the general idea is that if you can get the Smith chart to show loops towards the center, that you're better off. As the graph really goes around the perimeter of the chart, it's out of tuning really bad.
Yeah.
And
That's kind of what I'm gathering from it.
yeah, it's gonna, due to frequency and such, it's gonna have some looping effects because it's gonna go inductive and capacitive.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you know, if you're trying to keep the function, keep everything towards the center of the chart, you'll be better off. As it swings towards the outside of the chart, it's really out of control or out of usage, useful usage.
like that does not look good.
You're talking about the center left,
Yeah.
the green one in the center left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely looks bad. Here towards the center of the screen where it shows 316, use nano VNA to measure coax length. That looks better, but
That one.
measuring coax length.
There's a way. There's a way to measure how long your coax is with this thing too. Your dad was trying to tell me how that worked, and
I'm sorry, I'd have to read the manual before I believe some
Yeah.
of what Dad says.
I didn't quite understand what he was talking about either. So. You're right. When you get your dad off on radio, he starts talking stuff.
No, he knows what he's talking about most of the time.
I know he does.
But you know,
saying
there's
that.
some of the newer electronics that he's not fully up on. And hey, this is cool, and this is supposed to do this, and it's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But so that's something that I ordered though, so I'll play around with that. I picked up a couple of those because I've got some noise in the this new computer has a lot of noise on the line, so I was hoping, since this is supposed to be an RFI filter, that I could filter a lot of that out. I'm not real sure why this computer has so much noise on it, but it's noticeable, especially when you start playing radio. You can hear the noise, especially when you bring it close to the computer. There was that toy. I think that's all my toys.
There's the dog.
Barry's here. Barry's late.
Roy, say hi.
There's the puppy.
Yeah.
National Dog Day or something. I wrote a couple of Python scripts for this Laura Ham project, so I can use one of these as a gateway and get messages from APRS, and they'll send it to a second one of these. But really, that's about all I've done this week. I think that's all my new toys and everything.
Okay, then let the torture begin. Looks like we're doing better on the deaths, the overall deaths nationwide. We got a downward trend going here. Looks like Florida is on a downward trend. Texas, not so much. They're starting to show a downward trend lately. Florida's been doing okay. Nothing real fast though, but it is on a downward trend in Florida and Texas, and nationwide. So let's see. Don't do that. It hides all my stuff. Oh, let me try it again. Okay, hide that. I'll just scroll down. Attack. Book club. I found some another good book. The Churn was pretty good. Art was reading the Churn, and he liked it so far. The Shallows is another one. The Churn is sci-fi. There's a description up there if you're interested. The Shallows is detective type, little offbeat detective type. Some people like the offbeat detective type. So that was a pretty good book. In the news this week, graphene is really turning into a lot of stuff and useful in a lot of different areas. Graphene is already put into production when they're mixing it with other materials to change the characteristics of the material, and it's popping up in a lot of places. This particular article is about Hall effect devices and the advances 30 to 50 times more sensitive than a standard semiconductor such as silicone. Also, it's more 3D, has more of a 3D measurement, whereas the three-dimensional Hall effect devices tend to be more two-dimensional. This one, since it's basically, it doesn't have a third dimension, it does receive directions in multiple dimensions. The article's pretty good. And this next one, I think is going to be a biggie. Solar power hydrogen under $2 per kilogram by 2030. Anybody have any idea why that'd be such a big deal? I think it's going to be a big deal for two reasons. One of them is fuel for automobiles. Okay, no CO2. Also, if they get hydrogen out of solar power, then that solves the battery problem. Everybody know what I'm talking about, the battery problem? Right now, we got solar power during the day, but at night, what you got? Buckas. So you need batteries. So there's a big battery.
We got candlelight.
Do what?
We got candlelight.
Yeah. One of the problems they have in California is their solar goes offline and the heat hasn't gone away yet. They still want to run their air conditioners for a while. So that's a big deal there. So right now, the utilities are just going nuts looking for batteries for solar, because they got a 2.6 solar farm, but guess what happens after the sun goes down? So they're using various batteries, and that's a big deal now. Everybody's doing batteries. So enough for that one. And there's that good article from the millennials. If you want to know how 5G works, that's a pretty good article.
Wow. Okay. I'll keep my eyes open for that then. I was on an NDA for batteries and solar power 2 years ago. That's as much as I can say.
Did you solve the problem and it hadn't made it into production yet?
I did say NDA, right? Non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, I thought you said
You said
MBA,
nothing anyway.
Masters in Business.
Non-disclosure agreement. And the
Oh.
only thing we're allowed to say is batteries, solar cell, and major power network. So they are trying to resolve that problem.
Yeah,
Leroy and I also are in something like that.
the flow batteries are popular, and different chemicals. They're talking about, what was it? Steel, using steel in some way, and also they're talking about using graphene, of course, in batteries. They're already using graphene in some of the anode materials to reduce the amount of heat generated. So a lot of stuff.
Our problem will be to produce fuel in Mars to come back to the air from the colony. Elon Musk is planning to produce methane in Mars.
Methane.
Methane, okay. It's interesting. I saw a video, he's planning to use his boring company to send boring machines to Mars to create tunnels near the colony to explode minerals and underground water sources. It's interesting. They are designing the boring machines using very light components like titanium and something else. The idea is to put the full assembled machine inside the ship and send it to Mars to create tunnels remotely without people around. It's interesting. It's like crazy.
That's one of the reasons I was very interested in the hydrogen gas from solar. That could be used in a lot of places, transportation, and also for electrical generation. It does away with the battery. You could build the hydrogen gas and then consume the gas in a generator.
Yeah.
Or actually, they have the, what do they call it? The converter now to convert hydrogen into electricity directly. Some of the new cars.
I draw him cells or batteries or something like that.
Fuel cells.
Fuel cells, yeah.
They're still trying to get that kicked off.
Mm. Interesting.
That's the problem with the water cars. They haven't figured out how to charge you for them
Mm.
because it rains.
Well, the city has decided to charge us for rainwater runoff. So
Oh
when
yeah,
it
yeah,
rains on your property and then it drains off your property, they want to charge you for that water to be able to run around your house.
yeah.
Wow.
Cincinnati used to charge us somewhere anywhere from $800 to $1,500 a month for the sewer water.
How they do that? Estimate the area or your roof or what? Or your driveway or
Part,
your,
It,
part of your
it's
property
whatever
tax.
goes in the drain.
Yeah.
well, wow.
It can be in your water tax, your water bill, or your property taxes.
I don't have a public sewer or I
Do
mean
you
I
have city water?
no I have water, but I don't have the sewer or the
Well,
infrastructure to my all my water goes to my soil.
Septic tank.
septic tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the dad's weld shop was downtown, and we'd spend like maybe 50 gallons of water a month, but our bill for the sewage would be like $800 to $900 usually monthly because of the rain
Hmm.
going into the drain on the street.
Yeah, yeah.
Need to build a cistern.
But they are not measuring it, they are estimating it, I guess.
Yeah,
They,
I
they,
guess
they, there are no meters in the drains or
yeah, they can see how much square footage you got, and they know how much it rains. So there you go.
I think they use your surface or your roof area.
What's
I
going on?
just always thought it was funny because we can prove that we didn't use 50 gallons of water. How can we get billed for like 13,000? You know,
Yep, I saw. Look good, buddy.
What are you doing, Barry?
oh, not too much. I was hoping that they'd have the first bathroom done, but they didn't show up today. So
Yeah,
yesterday
construction
was
guys
Thursday,
are a
right?
hoot. No, that's today.
Today's Thursday.
Oh, that's not, it feels like yesterday was Thursday too. So I mean, we just did this meeting, right?
Oh.
Poor Barry.
That's how my week's gone. Ah, just a blur.
We've been trying to get some siding put in and some other stuff done, and it's just nothing's happening. First of all, it was COVID-19, and now everybody and their brothers moving out of the cities, and the people that are off from COVID-19 and living at home or working from home, everybody's trying to get houses finished and
Yeah.
rebuilt, and you just can't get anything done.
You can't get treated lumber in some parts of the country.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenny was saying his brother had trouble getting lumber.
I was saying, then we got the hurricane. So next
Yeah.
week, getting lumber is going to be gone.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say
You guys
that.
see
My
the
contractors will use it as an excuse that they want to raise the prices.
yeah. Did you guys see the report of how 30% of the Americans are already immune to COVID? Cross T cell resistance.
Wow.
Do what?
That's new.
They're
Cross
saying like
T-cell resistance.
yeah, so like 30% of the people donating plasma to the blood banks are already immune to COVID because of something else that they've had in the past is attacking COVID on contact. So they're already immune.
Your body remembers certain things and it recognizes COVID as something else. so you're partially immune to it.
Yeah, like 30% of the people or whatever are already immune to COVID because their antibiotics are, attacking it off the bat already anyway.
They're
And then,
trying to capitalize on that.
are almost completely resistant.
The Russians got a vaccine. Anybody want to take that?
No,
I want nothing from the Russians.
I found a 2020 fuel cell car made by Honda.
Oh yeah, there's a BMW fuel cell car in 2000.
Yeah, I think the problem here will be how much it cost. But the lease includes
So, and
$15,000 worth of hydrogen fuel for 3 years.
Yeah, they were saying that by
You're
2030
not-
that they could get it down to $2 a kilogram. So, and we're not there 2030 yet.
Do you guys understand the major problem with hydrogen fuels and automobiles?
Not much energy coming out of it's one of them.
No, the biggest problem is that it's an 8,000 psi tank, and the fuel injectors can't sustain the life durability for opening and closing and sustaining that held pressure. So right now, our standard fuel injectors, we got a fuel pump that's pushing into them, and the pressure is not nearly that high. You start going with hydrogen, and you've got 8,000 psi, and what's supposed to be a small injector, and it just can't do it. At least not on a long term, not yet. And once they start making hydrogen fuel injectors that are titanium, the engines and such are going to cost so much, and hopefully they're going to recycle them. But the engines are going to cost so expensive that it doesn't matter how much the fuel costs.
Well, this one here says
They
that
can replace the injectors. They replace the injectors, right?
I guess they'll come up with something.
LA's had hydrogen fuel cars for probably going on 10 years. You just can't buy them, though they're lease only, because the engines cost like $350,000 and they're not allowed for general public. It's really interesting. There's like now 10 stations or something where you can go buy hydrogen fuel, and it's like or like $1.50 a gallon or something. At least it used to be. I don't know what it is now, but prices in California are always wacky anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's out of me and Leroy's price range.
yeah.
Yeah.
This says there's 3 different powertrains in this car, and they use electric drive motors.
What about the fuel cells?
Well, that's what this new car is supposed to be, is a fuel cell.
And so you don't need
Yeah.
injectors for a fuel cell, do you? Right?
You
The
can
electric,
convert that to electricity.
electric car. Use an electric motor.
Yeah.
You take a fuel cell and convert it to electricity, right?
Yeah, Leroy, Ray, we're saying that you don't really need the injectors for the fuel cell, do you? That'd be for a combustion engine. Your microphone's off.
I don't know. Yeah, my microphone should be on, isn't it?
It is now.
Yeah.
Maybe it just dropped out for a second.
I just wasn't talking. I just.
Hey, a raccoon's gonna pop up in a minute. I know.
Damn
We know
it.
what you do.
Battery electric vehicle. See, I think fuel cells are they're like battery replacements.
Hey, you put
Hydrogen
hydrogen,
fuel cell or what?
Yeah,
put hydrogen in the fuel cell, and you end up with electricity and water.
yeah. They've been using fuel cells since like the late 60s on spacecraft for power generation.
Yeah, that's what's funny is like the guy that invented the fuel cell went back to Japan a few years ago, started making cars, and then suddenly had an accident. Or Japan is coming out with a line of hydrogen fuel cell cars.
Yeah, I don't know. This thing reads like it's an electric car with a fuel cell in it. But I still think the problem is it's going to be the cost. It's going to be an expensive car.
Well, that's why when I was looking at it several years ago, and that LA had them, they were saying that the engines cost around $350,000, but you couldn't buy the car. It was only lease only, and the max years you can keep it was 3, and then they take the car back.
That's what it looks like here. Looks like it says the Clarity fuel cell is available for lease for $380 a month for 36 months, with almost $3,000 due when you sign up, and the lease includes benefits including $15,000 worth of hydrogen fuel. So, I guess if you're leasing it, you're not paying for the fuel. I guess that's what that's saying, but unless you're using a lot more than what they want you to.
The 15,000, yeah.
Who's going to get the first Tesla in this group? Yeah, you got one?
Not yet.
Actual Tesla. Well,
They're rated below the Range Rover for maintenance. You get something that's worse than the Range Rover guys, that's know what you're getting. Me and
the
Leroy don't have
Tesla
to,
pickup truck.
yeah, Tesla pickup truck. Maybe that, go for that. No?
I don't want one of those.
Somebody gave you one?
If somebody gave me one, I would find a way to sell it off really fast. I don't want one.
So now the other electric cars are starting to come out, hybrids, and then some of the total electrics are coming out. I saw one on Motor Week this week. What was that?
That thing just
yeah.
is ugly and does not look like a pick 'em up truck.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to pick up, Leroy.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Some things I think it'd be very effective.
Maybe.
Yeah. You're the only guy in town with one of those, you'd be a big deal. Well, we're already big deals, me and you, anyway. You know.
Oh. This one's good though.
Less than a minute, guys. So
The Tesla pick 'em up truck police car.
all right. You can find one. You can probably find one on the, at the sale, huh?
Maybe.
That's Leroy's next car. 20 years from now.
20 years from now.
Yeah.
We're down to 15 seconds or so. So
Yeah.
Okay. See you next week.
Yeah, I want a
Nice.
truck, but I'm not going to be able to afford it.
Oh, yeah. Get a raccoon or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's supposed to be like $30,000.